All right, we are recording and we are live. Welcome to another Wednesday. We Grow Together Mastermind, and we're all here to help the agents. Doesn't matter what brokerage you're with, doesn't matter where you live. This is about helping you be successful in real estate so that we can knock down the 70% of realtors that fell in their first 2 years in the business. We want to knock down that National Association of Realtors statistic. We want to knock that down really, really low. And that's kind of what drives us to bring you value. So today, what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about one of my favorite subjects, which is BOLT. Okay. And I'll tell you what that stands for here in a second, but give you a little history on myself. I've been in the real estate business for about 19 years. And in the real estate business, what it's taught me is how it's just a relationship business. Okay. If you can be the best relationship builder, and then everything else will fall into place. You can find out how to write a contract. You can find out how to, send an email to title and all the other things that go into real estate. But if you can't capture the relationship with the customer, then you're never going to be able to find them the right house. You're never going to be able to take them to the finish line because the client's not going to want to work with somebody that they don't like. You have to understand that people buy from people. That's why technology will never take away us, because people buy from people and people buy from people they like. All right. So what we're going to teach you today is how to realize how to a certain personality of a client, because the reality is clients, every client, like we were just talking a minute ago before we hit the record button about different signs, right? So like, one guy said he's Gemini, the other one says Scorpio. Well, whatever you believe, there's different personality types. And so in this business, you're going to have to be able to almost, have you ever seen like those shows, those FBI profilers? You're going to almost have to be like an FBI profiler with your customer. And then you're going to have to be a chameleon and adapt to whatever the customer's personality type is. Okay. And so that's what we're going to get into. I'm going to share my screen here real quick. And then at any time, if you guys have a question or something, please definitely ask me, and we'll discuss it at that time. All right. So this is, again, personality profiles, part 1. All right. Now, I'm going to drop in the chat here in a little bit, but there's actually a test. Okay. I know that some of you on here have probably heard of like the disc test and things like that. Like employers will actually have you fill this out to kind of find out what type of person you are. Why I like this better is because once you get done with this training, you're going to understand. You're going to look at your wife. You're going to look at your girlfriend. You're going to look at your mom and dad over the holidays. And you're going to say, oh, well, I know exactly what personality profile there is, because there's going to be some homework here. And I want you guys to let me know or drop in the comments on our YouTube channel as well, what you found out through the holidays. But this is a test that I will drop into the comments on YouTube, and then also drop it in on this Zoom. But this is a test that you can specifically take, and it is going to tell you where your strongest personality type is in the BOLT. And BOLT stands for bull, owl, lamb, tiger. Okay, that's what it stands for. There's certain animal personality types. We're going to go over those here in a second. So anyways, this is the test. And are you a bull? Are you an owl? Are you a lamb? Or are you a tiger? Determining your personality. Now, if you're on this call and obviously all of you are real estate agents, there might be a time in your career where you want to start a team, right? And when you start a team, you have to be the leader of that team. So you have to be able to manage every single realtor differently. You can't just manage one realtor the same as the other realtor, because they all have different personality types. So this is a great test to be able to have them do when they're interviewing you and they decide to come to work for you. Okay. Now, I'll tell you, it's funny. I showed this to my wife. She owns a salon, and she uses it for the girls that she brings into her salon. She owns a booth rental salon, and she loves it. Okay. So just to kind of tell you what my personality type is, So this is my test here. Okay. Matt is a tiger with owl, tiger with bull, and a tiger with lamb, and tiger, tiger, tiger. So I'm what they call as a psycho. Okay. Because I have a little bit of everything. And that's good in sales and in customer relationships because I can adapt to every situation that I'm in. All right. And we're going to kind of go over some examples here in a second, but that's me. So let's talk about what the Bolt personality profile test is. Bolt personality test acronym stands for bull, owl, lamb, and tiger. Everyone has a personality type similar to one of these four animals or a combination of the two. Okay. Studies prove that the four animal types are extremely consistent in their behaviors and decision-making processes. The accuracy rate in which behaviors can be predicted among the personality profiles is around 90%. And trust me, when you learn this, you're going to start. I mean, I've used it through my whole sales career in all of real estate, and it's been amazing how I can work with any type of customer. I can take a customer that's looking at a $40,000 piece of land and a first-time home buyer, or I can go and duplicate myself to a $1 million buyer, which I've sold $1 million houses before as well. I've sold everything from little to big because I've been able to adapt to the personality. And especially in real estate, those personalities are different. You can't treat a $200,000 buyer the same as a $800,000 buyer. Okay. You just can't. You have to know their personality. Now, here's the beautiful thing is you're going to run into those clients. I never searched for those clients. They just fell into my lap as my career went on. So just know that you're going to have to adapt to those personalities. All right. So we're going to go to the next screen here. Who is the creator of Bolt, the personality profile? You can look this gentleman's name up. You could take a screenshot. His name is Charles J. Clark III. The four basic types of personalities: bull, owl, lamb, and tiger. Bolt was created to increase work productivity and increase sales. Okay. And this can be used in anything, not just real estate. I mean, you could use this on your wife to get what you want. I'm just joking. But and you can improve your customer service skills as well, because remember, your relationship and the customer service that you provide is really what makes you different from the other person that has their real estate license. Because we all know there's thousands of realtors, but what makes the difference between the top realtor and the realtor that's the average realtor? They're the better relationship builder. All right. And this goes into fact with that. And they build better relationships, work and personal. Okay. So this can also go with your personal relationships with your family, your friends, that type of stuff as well. Okay. All right. By knowing, let me pull this up here. By knowing and learning about each personality type, one could develop better interpersonal skills. Having the ability to understand the basic personality types of people further develops our understanding of the human needs and motivations. So when you learn this, it's not just kind of to be a chameleon on whatever your customer is, but you're also going to be able to find out, you know, where are they coming from? What type of walk of life are they coming from? What are their wants and their needs? That type of stuff by knowing this as well. When we have a good understanding of a person's psychology makeup, because that's what it really is, guys, it's a psychology makeup, it allows us to be more effective at relationships. Again, you're going to hear relationships a lot. If I had to give you one key for your whole real estate career and everything you've been taught up until this point, is master being a good relationship builder. If you can master being a good relationship builder, it's game over on all facets. It's game over on the real estate side of it. It's game over on the relationships you have with your peers. It's game over on your personal relationships. You're just gonna, when you go 6 feet under the ground, people are gonna come to your funeral, okay? Because you actually helped people and took care of them because you were a master relationship builder. All right, that's the reality. Okay, it helps to improve communication and people skills as well. All right, so just a little rundown there. Bolt is useful to quickly size up a customer's personality and adapt our sales and customer service skills to suit that particular individual. Let me give you an example. One of the characteristics in here is the owl buyer. Okay. So the owl personality, sorry, not buyer, owl personality. All right. I'm Tiger, Tiger, Tiger. I'm Mr. Excitement, right? But if I'm in front of an owl buyer, okay, I'm going to have to act like an owl. I'm going to have to give that owl all the information, even though it might frustrate me because I don't care that the vehicle, if I'm at a car dealership, I don't care what's under the hood. I just care that it's red and it goes fast. Like that's all I care about, right? But the owl cares about the gases per mile, cares about what type of oil is put in it, right? The tiger doesn't care about that. All right. So those are the things that you're going to be able to learn by this, to where you're just going to be able to adapt. And the more you adapt, the better your relationship's going to be and the more sales you're going to make. Let's get into the individual personality types. All right. So are you a bull? So if you're on this call, you're probably wondering, hey, what am I? And as we go through these, you might see some characteristics in your own life where you're like, hey, that's me. So personality traits of a bull: gets to the bottom line quickly and gets to the point. Okay. Seeks control, is blunt, no frills, just facts, hard to convince. A bull is hard to convince something because they think just a bunch of BS is coming out of your mouth, right? So they're very, very hard to convince. All right. Now, fast to decide. Okay. Bulls can be very, very fast to decide. All right. Like they're the guy that goes to the car dealership and they only go to one dealership. Okay. Or they go to the open house and they're ready to buy the house right away. All right. So they're going to make quick decisions. And then bulls, they want results. Bulls want results. Like they want you to be quick. Okay. And bulls can take some excitement and emotionalism, but not a ton. Okay. And bulls definitely are prestige and status are more important than security. Bulls are risk takers, right? They're 100% risk takers. And then they like challenges. Okay. And business first, then social. Like, let's get it done. And then we can have a cocktail. Like that's where they're at. Right. So let me give you some examples. If you're on a phone call with a bull and you're trying to build too much rapport with them and not getting to the point, you might lose them. Right. So you got to know what you got with the bull. Also, the bull, when you're pulling up to the house, let's say you're meeting the client for the first time, the vehicle the bull drives is usually a big old pickup truck. Okay. Sometimes it might be a really, really nice car. Okay. You're going to be able to tell by the way that they're dressed. Okay. You're going to know when you got a bull. The bull is the a-hole that drives up into the handicap spot and he doesn't have a handicap sticker, or maybe he has one that he bought, off the black market, right? Like that's the bull, right? So you got to know the bull, but you also have to respect the bull because the bull is a buyer. The bull has an 800 credit score. The bull can buy whatever he wants, and that's why he's a bull. Okay. So what my recommendation with a bull is you have to hit him right between the eyes. Someone told me that a long time ago. You can't back off on the bull. They respect hitting him right between the eyes. I'll give you an example. The other night on a non-real estate call, I was talking to an agent in New Jersey, and the agent in New Jersey, I was talking to him about something, and he's like, well, hey, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to have to fly down there and meet you. He goes, because I don't trust you. And I said, hold on one second. Make sure my internet, I saw that there wasn't a step. Can you guys hear me good?
Yes, sir. Mr. Matt, sir.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, just want to make sure. So
Get those glasses today, by the way.
Thank you. So this guy's like, I don't trust you. And so instead of me going, well, why don't you trust me? Like a lamb would do. Like, why don't you trust me? Like, I haven't done anything for you not to trust me. You know what I did is I said, well, that's great because I don't trust you either. When are you getting your plane ticket to come down here and meet with me? Right? So I hit him between the eyes. He's a bull. He respected that, right? A lot of people from up north. Okay. And this is good for real estate guys, because we're getting people that are moving, especially if you're here in Texas, which I think most of the people on this call are in Texas. We're getting people that are moving from everywhere to come here. Okay. There's so many companies that are coming here. So the point is you're going to get a whole different type of walk of life coming through Texas. So you got to be ready for it. So that's the bull. All right. Now, how to deal with a bull. I gave you some of my things. I'm going to tell you what's here on the screen. Bulls prefer directness and getting right to the point. Do not go off on tangents or you'll lose them. Be confident in your dealings with them, and make sure you know what you are talking about, as they can be a bit impatient. Okay. So make sure you're educated. Hold on one second. Evan, you there, buddy? Does anybody know?
Yeah, I'm here, buddy.
Evan, were you joining to learn this, or you were joining for something else?
No, I had somebody that I'm going to get on here. She's probably trying to get in.
Okay. Can you guys, can we schedule for 3:30?
Oh, so this isn't for the turbo. I'm sorry.
No, bro. No. This is something else I'm doing.
I'm sorry, man.
Yeah. Tell her I'm running a presentation for that at 3:30 my time. So that would be 2:30 your time. So just tell Amber.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah, no worries,
Okay.
bro.
I'll tell her right now.
All right, buddy.
All right, 3:30.
Yeah, 3:30 my time, 2:30 your time, brother.
Okay. All right, buddy. Okay, bye-bye.
Thanks, man. Bye. All right, sorry about that, guys. As you can tell, I had to tell the bull to get the fuck off. No, I'm just joking. We'll bleep that out of the script here. But anyways, be confident in your dealings with them. Make sure you know what you're talking about. Don't try to tell them they are wrong. Okay. They need to be shown the facts to make their own determination. So you're not going to be able to make a determination, but you can figure out how to make them think that they're making the determination, right? Don't use frills and fluffs when dealing with them. Now, I'll give you an example. Let's say that you have a bull seller, right? And the bull seller's like, hey, I want to put my house at $480,000. And that's what I think it's worth. But you know, the house is only worth 450, right? Now, I'm sure we all went through our ethics class, right? Just recently. Here's what you're going to do is you're going to provide him the information. Okay. And then he's going to make the decision. You're going to provide him all the information, and the bull doesn't want to look stupid. Okay. So by you providing all the information that shows the reality, and that's what I tell a lot of my clients, listen, I'm going to give you the reality, which is my professional opinion. It's up to you if you want to take it. So you give them the reality, and the bull doesn't want to feel stupid. So most likely they're going to take your recommendation. Okay. But you have to give it to them, and you have to give it to them with confidence. Just like I said, hey, I'm a reality guy. I know you want to sell it for 480, but here are the comps right here. Remember, the value of your house is not what you determine. It's what the market determines, Mr. Smith. And you have to say it to them like that confidently, and they will respect you for that. But if you just go, okay, 480, yeah, let me stick a sign in the ground and let's get it sold. Yeah. And then 2 weeks later, you're calling them going, hey, I need to go ahead and lower that price. Is it okay? No, I want 480. If you thought this was too high, why didn't you tell me? That's exactly what they're going to say to you, right? And that's where a lot of real estate agents fail, is they do exactly what their client is saying that they need to do, which we're supposed to do that, right? But they're not giving them the recommendation. They have to see the facts in the recommendation. Okay. All right. So let's talk about the owl. All right. But before I go over the owl, does anybody on here have any questions about the bull? Okay. Fantastic. All right. Let's talk about the owl. So the owl is very analytical. Okay. Just like you saw here, personality traits of the owl, very analytical, studies everything, detail oriented, deep thinker, methodical, relates best to logical order, takes time to make a decision, introspective. So when you see an owl, especially in a market that we're in right now, where, you really don't have time to make a decision if you like the house. Can everybody nod their head and agree with me on that? Yeah. So how do you get an owl that's a deep thinker, very analytical, and detail oriented and methodical to make a quick decision? Anybody give me an idea of what you would do?
Provide him with the information so he can study it real quick.
Yeah. So that's correct, David. But here's what you want to do is you want to be the speed of light. You want to get all that information to them. Let's say you're at the house, okay? And they're like, hey, I need this. You pull up your laptop or your phone and you get them the details while you're in the house. Before you leave, before you get in your vehicle, like it's done now. So you have to be the quickness to getting them that information. And then once they've got the information, then they can make the decision. And before you leave the house, you get in your vehicle, you run to a Starbucks and you write up the offer. You got to be quick that way, but they're not going to make the decision unless you got it to them quickly. I was shopping today at a store, and I can't announce the store because I'm in my house, but there was a conversation going on with a realtor. And I could hear it because they were talking about the title company and closing tomorrow and this document that needed to be signed and all this stuff. And as I'm listening to her conversation, she goes, yeah, I'll just have to wait till I get to home, okay, to do that. I'm out shopping right now. All right. Listen, I mean, call me crazy, but at least that's not what I teach in my agents. My agents is a 10x mentality of working 10 times harder, smarter, and faster than the average agent. Because what we learned is that time kills deals. So if that was me at that store, I would have said, hey, I got to run to the vehicle. I got to get this taken care of. I got to get a DocuSign out. We got to get this done now because every minute of the day counts, right? So just remember, speed to lead with the owl, but don't let them see that you're being speed to lead. Just get them what they need. Okay. Very methodical. All right. So that's the owl. Now no mistakes with an owl, yours or theirs. You have to make sure, like I've had owls where my tiger kicked in and I missed something on the contract and they schooled me on the contract. Right. So how embarrassing is that when you miss something on the contract? Because believe it or not, they're going to read that whole contract. Okay. So you need to make sure that your I's are dotted, you slow down. Okay. And you cross your T's, maybe get a game plan from somebody. My business partner that's on here, Dan, we value game plans because it's just another set of eyes looking at something. Okay. To make sure everything looks good. Just be very methodical before you just send it over to them to sign. Okay. Doesn't like overexcitement and emotionalism. So me coming at them being really excited and like, like they're going to freak out. Okay. So I have to like really, really be a chameleon. Okay. For me, security is more important than prestige and status. Okay. I'll give you another example. I have a listing right now. The buyer's agent is actually the buyer as well. And we went under contract like, I don't know, 12, 15 days ago. And they want to close. I've never seen an appraisal happen so fast. Literally, we went under contract. 4 days later, we got an appraisal. I have no idea how they got the appraisal. It came back like they were ready to close on like the 17th day. But my seller is very methodical. He's like, I need to check with my accountant. And I got this buyer's agent that's blowing me up like, hey, we're ready to close. Why aren't you guys ready to close? And I said, my seller is checking with his accountant. And so I got a message back last night after I had messaged my seller like 2 or 3 times over the last 3 or 4 days saying, hey, I need an update on this. He said, hey, we don't want to close until January 3rd because my accountant said it's better to close after the new year. And I said, okay, great. But you could see the speed of my seller versus the speed of the buyer's agent that's actually buying the house. He wanted it done quickly. 2 different personalities there. I can't be like, hey, yeah, I'd love for it to close December 31st and, add a little bit more money to my income. I can't be that way. I just have to get the information, send it over, and be patient with both sides. All right. Now, listen, owls, they like to be alone. Okay. They like solitude. Okay. They like to be alone. So if you do a client appreciation party, let's just say you're doing a client appreciation party and you have an owl that shows up, you might want to go over and talk to the owl, okay, because they might be sitting in a corner somewhere. All right. You might want to make them feel welcome. Business first, then social. Okay. That's how the owl operates. All right. Now, how to deal with an owl. Owls are generally introverted and serious nature. Okay. My wife has got a lot of owl in her. I joke with her all day long and she thinks they're stupid jokes. Okay. Like, you know what I mean? She don't like the thrills, right? Everything must be analyzed and all questions must be fully answered for the owl to feel most comfortable. So you have to make sure they get all the information. Too much excitement is unsettling to an owl. They like stability and routine. That's my wife. Like, I'm the risk taker. My wife's like, hey, I just want the stability and I want the routine. Early in our marriage, if I got off the routine, like I almost had to call Dan a couple times for a place to live. Like, got to, especially with kids, you got to have the routine. Okay. You got to keep the routine. She's got me trained now. Okay. I know how to do it, 8 o'clock for bed for one kid, 9 o'clock for the other kid, 7 o'clock is shower time. Like, I got it down now. Right. So you have to remember that they're not going to make fast decisions. And the owl is very sharp and very reliable. My wife, most reliable person I ever met in my entire life. So, she's reliable. I know I can count on her, where me, I'm all over the board sometimes. Right. But she reels me in. Okay. You only get one chance with the owl, so don't mess it up. I beg to differ. I got 2 chances with my wife. So, I made that happen, but hey, is what it is. All right. So let's talk about the personality traits of the lamb. Are you a lamb? Okay. What do you think a lamb does? A lamb is very timid. Bah, bah, bah. Okay. It avoids conflict. Okay. David's laughing over there because I think he's got a few lambs on his ranch. I saw your little kitchen over there, you guys over there in Willis, Texas. What you say, Willis? All right. So listen, lambs are more easily agreeable. Okay. They seek to pleasure. Okay. A lamb in the real estate world is a get me done buyer, right? Like, it's a get me done. Like, they're going to do everything you say. They seek to please you. You're up on a pedestal with them. They do have a hard time making decisions, though. All right, because they're very timid. They're scared. Like, there's some lambs that are in the apartment complex down the street that have 800 credit scores, but they've been renting a house for 15 years because they're scared of home ownership. You got to hold the hand of the lamb. Okay, you ever seen Tommy Boy? You gotta pet the lamb. Pet it, okay? Help that lamb out. Walk that lamb. They're even-tempered. They're soft-spoken, can be introverted or extrovert, and they're hard to read feelings. Lambs are hard to read feelings. All right? Now, let's talk about how you can deal with a lamb. All right? You can be their friend. You can give them direction, and you can show support. Have you guys ever been in a real estate transaction, and at the end of the day, at the end of closing, you go, hey, you know what? We might be real estate agents, but you know what? We're also certified counselors, right? Like, 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 we got to walk them through everything. Okay. I just had a closing this last week. It was a listing, and we're at the closing table, and they let the sellers sign before. And they had some issues with the way that we had the house cleaned. So I went over to the house and I'm cleaning doors, like literally, like the buyers like actually picked out dust and put like a new home build sticky tag to it. So I'm over there cleaning doors because my mindset, do whatever it takes, right? So I get over there, I'm cleaning the doors, and the husband, my seller, he's like, I don't care. He goes, if they ask for anything else, they either effing want it or they don't. It's that simple. Like, they're either going to take it. And his wife is the lamb. His wife's like, well, honey, what if they back out? We already bought the RV and, all this stuff, she's scared. Right. And we're at the closing table. They let us sign first because they didn't have the clear to close yet. And the wife goes, what does that mean? Well, it just means that they don't have a clear to close, but they're allowing you to go ahead and close. And I had to walk them through that everything was going to be okay. Like everything was going to be, I had to hold her hand. They're very emotional. And security is more important than prestige and status. They avoid conflict, wants protection and peace, and social first, then business. Okay. Like they're living life just kind of like, in the 70s, man, just kind of like, whatever, dude, that's kind of what they're doing. All right. How to deal with a lamb. Lambs are generally more soft-spoken and move at a much slower pace. They are good listeners, but they do have a hard time making decisions. Patience is a virtue when dealing with a lamb. They can be outgoing or introverted and are generally kind and amendable. So if you screw up with a lamb, they're going to be okay with it. All right. Lambs don't feel comfortable with too much force or direction. So you have to be gentle with them. All right. Use your words and actions wisely and at a slower pace to make them feel the most comfortable. Okay. You have to drop that voice down and just kind of massage the relationship. All right. You must gently nudge, just like I said here, massage, gently nudge the lamb. The lamb will flee if it's frightened. Okay. So you have to be very calm, very collective, and just nudge that relationship. All right. My favorite, the tiger. All right. Who doesn't like a tiger, right? They're real playful, right? All right. So are you a tiger? All right. Now listen, you might be looking at this presentation and go, hey, I'm actually a tiger. I can be a bull. I can be a lamb and maybe an owl. Well, then you're like me. You're a psycho. All right. So listen, here we go. We're going to talk about the tiger. Personality traits of the tiger. They're fun. They're loving. They're expressive. Wear their feelings on the outside. Impulsive. Okay. Excitable. Quick decision makers. Strong. Self-confident. And an extrovert. I'll give you guys a funny story because I like stories to explain stuff. But when I first met my wife, she wanted I wanted a big screen TV. Okay. And I was going to buy me this was probably about 10 years ago. I was going to buy me the biggest one I could buy on the market at that time. And it was like 80 inches. If you went to 100-inch, you were buying a projection screen, right? So I go, and where do I go to buy my TV? I go to Best Buy because that's my place. That's where I get all my electronics, right? I don't have to go nowhere else. It's an electronics store. They closed down Circuit City years ago. So that used to be my store, but now it's Best Buy. So I walk in there. I'm taking my wife. Hey, sorry, 1 second. Can you call my mom? She's called 3 times. Sorry about that. And I take her in there to Best Buy, and I found the one I wanted. I'm excited. I mean, I am like the tiger. It was just, I was super excited. And so I go and I'm like, oh, I'm going to buy it. And she goes, wait. And I was like, what do you mean, wait? And she said, well, we should shop around, see if we can get a better price. And I said, shop, what, what are you talking about? Like shop around, like this is the one, you know? And she's my girlfriend at the time. Right. So I'm like, you know, whatever. Wrong thing to do. Right. And so I go to buy it and she's like, no, we need to shop around. Well, I got so mad. I was like, you know what? And I was like a little baby. I was like, you know what? I'm never taking shopping with me again. You just take all the fun out of it. You know, this and that. And the TV was going to cost me like $5,000. Like I had closed a house. I was going to spend my paycheck on it. Like that's how I used to think, right? She changed me. So we're walking out of the parking lot and I just left. I'm like, I'll just come by it whenever she's out of here or whatever. And she's like, well, let's just go over and look at these other things. Let me do some research. She was being really calm about it. I was just pissed. I was like, because I want my TV today. Like I don't go and buy things that I can't have today. Like I want it today, you know? And if I'm going to give you the money, I don't want to wait for it to be shipped. I want it today. I want to touch it. I want to turn it on, all those types of things. And so I let her do, I finally was like, fine, whatever. And I'll come back and get the TV. She starts doing some shopping. She's like, oh, well, let's go over here. So we go over here, we look, and she found one for like $1,000 cheaper, the same TV. And I was like, holy cow. And then she's like, well, let's go look in San Antonio. We were in Austin and she found one at Bjorn's. She saved me $2,500, okay, at another store because I listened to her, right? And that day I learned, okay, that I need to tame the quick decision maker out of me. And I learned how to really adapt to my own personality trait, right? So you can also be a chameleon to your own personality trait as well. So anyways, that's a funny story that went on. And to believe it or not, guys, I had that TV for 8 years. It just went out. Okay. It was a Samsung curved, okay, 80-inch TV. It just went out about 3 months ago and I had to buy a new TV, but I had that TV for 8 years because I listened to her and bought a quality TV at a good price versus just buying something that I was going to go and upgrade this and that and this and that. So anyways, great story, but this is what a tiger is. Now, how do we deal with a tiger? Tigers are not into detail. They prefer others to do detail. Like literally, my business partner that's sitting on here, he could probably tell you that I am not the detailed guy. I'm not the spreadsheet guy. Okay. I'll give you the idea and then you take it and run and do all the little mixture stuff, right? Like that's not me, right? I'm not the detailed guy. Same thing in real estate. I got to a certain amount of transactions. I didn't want to do the details on the transaction. So I found me a transaction coordinator that could do all the detail stuff and keep me organized, right? So I'm not the detail guy. Fast paced, doesn't recognize his mistakes and possibly not yours. Okay. Like I'm go. Now, if I do have a mistake, I will say that it is my mistake. Emotional, likes to get excited. Prestige and status are more important than security. I mean, I don't, when I look at that on there, I don't go, hey, I want to have the biggest, this, biggest, that. Like, that's not really it. Like, you know, but I don't, security is not important to me because I'm a risk taker, right? Like it's not the end of the world. Everything we have is materialistic. If I could lose it all tomorrow and I could gain it back the next day if I needed to, because I care, the things I care about is my family and the things that are not replaceable. I like a challenge. Okay. Social relationships are important. Social first, then business. Okay. All right. Now, how to deal with a tiger. Tigers are playful, so relevant chit chat is fine before launching into the core of discussion. Tigers won't give you clues as to what they are thinking, and they are fast and direct communicators. They are a little more flexible and playful compared to the bull. When pushed, the tiger will hold its own. I'm the nicest guy in the world, but there is a boiling point, right? Versus the bull will just flip off the chain. All right. Now, I want you guys, your homework here. We're almost done with the presentation, but over the holidays, what I would like you to do is I would like you to notice just your family, just people you know that you really, really know. Maybe you meet with a client and start noticing your interactions with people. Try to determine their personality profile. And when we meet again next week, if you join this next week, let us know what you found out about that. And then also, if you're seeing this on YouTube, drop a comment of, an experience of finding out the personality trait. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop my share and see if anybody has any questions. That is the end of the presentation. Or any comments. Like Dan, I know you've seen this presentation before. Anything that you'd like to add? I know you're traveling.
For me, that was good information. I didn't know a lot of that. Although I can see that in you now.
Yeah.
I guess I'm psycho because I'm a little bit of everything.
Yep. And it's good. It's good to be a psycho. It is, because you can adapt. You can adapt to all the personalities because you understand them, right? So, and when you're able to do that, Shakita, when, remember, this is about real estate, you're able to adapt to those clients, and you're going to become a better relationship builder, which is going to equal out into be, selling more homes and helping more customers, because people are going to want to work with you. Jerry, do you have any comments, buddy?
Stuff, man.
Okay, good deal. All right. All right. Now, everybody, remember, next week we're doing a training. Now, next week's training, okay, is going to be on CMAs. And Dan Fitzgerald, which is probably the best I've ever seen in the business on doing a CMA, is going to be training the CMA. So if you want to learn how to do a really detail-oriented, like you look like a daggum professional when you send it to your clients, CMA, you don't want to miss next week's Dan's training. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Okay, y'all know where that's at. Subscribe to our channel. Again, this channel is all about helping agents grow. Our mindset is we grow together, no agent left behind. So it doesn't matter what brokerage you're with, wherever out you're in the country. Our goal is to empower realtors to help their businesses be successful and basically give back all the mentorship that we were mentored that got us to where we were in our careers. And like I said, the five of us that started this to help agents out have over 100 years of experience in the real estate industry. So thank you so much, guys. That'll conclude today. Hope everybody has a Merry Christmas. I can't believe it's just a few days away. And we'll talk to you guys next week.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Matt.
Yep.
See ya.
See you guys.